Ruck'n Maul time again. Sam Bruce alongside Greg Growden. Greg, big afternoon of fallout from that Waratahs-Brumbies game in Sydney on Sunday afternoon.
Yes, it was. Great game, and then headlines for 2 or 3 days. Nothing unusual for a Brumbies-Waratahs game, but this one was different, where during the game, David Pocock went to the referee, Craig Joubert, complained of comments made by a Waratahs player, which was later revealed as Jark's Potgieter, which was revolved around homophobic slurs towards some Brumbies players. Now, what has happened is this whole issue has divided the rugby community. On one side, you've got many people saying what David Pocock did was great, standing up for the rights. Then on the other side, you've got people saying what's said on the field should stay on the field. But I'm going to side with David Pocock on this one. I think what he did was admirable. And you've got to understand that he didn't do this as a public stance because he did not realise that the comments were heard through the referee's ears by journalists, and that's how the story came about. It wasn't him making a stand for a public stand. But again, what he did was admirable. And in this day and age, those sort of comments are gone. Primarily because Australian rugby have been really pushing this. They've been public about this for quite a while, and it really needs to be nipped in the bud. So there will be ramifications, and we've discovered the ramifications. We've got people saying that there's no way that David Pocock will be Australian captain, particularly as he's now made a stance on this. And also we had the situation a few months ago when he was involved in a mining protest. I hope it doesn't. I hope the Australian Rugby Union show a bit of common sense here and treat him like anyone else and don't downgrade him because he's too radical.
On Monday we saw Sands was sort of working on the issue, and then they referred it to the Waratahs and the ARU. After the Beale scandal of last year, were you pleased with the way they handled it so quickly? Yeah,
it had to be handled because there was quite a few of us journalists were talking on Monday morning saying, look, the smart way of doing this is for the person who was involved in it, put his hand up. We all knew who it was Monday morning. We all were aware who it was. Put his hand up, get it done, and let's get on with it. Because, okay, you can say it was a heat of the moment. Comment, fine. But my understanding is these type of things have been going on for a while, and it's got to be stopped. So yes, it was good. Bang, bang, bang. Monday night, everything has sort of been resolved. We had the fallout. There was a bit more yesterday. But by the middle of the week, we've moved on. So yes, in this situation, Australian Rugby have done it well. They've done it quickly, and I think the fine was justified.
On to the actual rugby from that game, and it was pleasing to see Israel Folau back to his best, both at fullback in the custodian role, and then also at number 13, timely because Tavita Kuridrani gone for the next 8 weeks.
That's right. The Tavita Kuridrani's injury could be a major blow for Australian rugby. They were saying 8 weeks, but it looked a pretty bad shoulder injury. So hopefully he does come back because he has been looking really good the last 12 months, and he is crucial for the World Cup. But if he is injured for an extensive amount of time, who is our number 13 candidates? You say Adam Ashley Cooper would be the obvious. But now, Folau, you've got to think of him as a possibility there because in attack, he was quite consistently used at 13 in that Brumbies game. And how he was able to motor his way around Kuridrani showed he's got good speed, good understanding, he's got good knows what to do with his wingers. So, yeah, he is now a candidate. But the situation is maybe not what he does in attack, but it's in defence because, as you well know, Sam, number 13 position is one of the most difficult defensive positions on the field because you've got to counter man-on-man defence, drift defence, and various other variations. So you really got to be smart. And we've had rugby league players in that position before who have struggled. You talked to Lottie Takiri. He would say he eventually mastered it, but it took him quite a while.
Michael Hooper missed the tackle early on for Matt Tamua's try, but then after that, he was back to his best.
He was. I think it was he knew that David Pocock was going to come on there sometime during the game, so he really had to show a bit of presence, and he is, because he has been surprisingly quiet this year, and it was easily his best game of the season. That's what that game required. It required all the big names starting to show something for the Waratahs, and that occurred. Hoop had a good game, Flower had a good game, Will Skelton was a lot better because I was told last week by the Waratahs that his confidence was shot. Maybe he was stirred up by a few comments I was told which were aimed at him by some Brumbies, and that could have revved him up. But I thought he played a lot better. So they're starting to make their presence felt, which is good. This is the time of the season where the teams really make a push towards the finals.
And you've got a few rumours about some of the other franchises.
Yeah, there's a bit going on among the coaches. Let's just say at one province, the head coach's CV has suddenly appeared on the table of a UK club Very interesting. Obviously, he's looking for an escape route. At another province, the coach and the assistant coach are not too happy about the situation. Apparently, there's some dramas re travel costs and the budgeting costs, so they're starting to agitate about that. And at another province, I hear there's been some interesting emails from the head coach and the members of the board who have lost their confidence in him. So he's on a bit of shaky ground. And let's just say that I was watching his demeanour during the TV telecast of one game on Saturday, and he didn't look happy.
There it is, another big week in rugby. Hopefully this weekend we'll be talking about all the on-field stuff.